guys, it's Kelly. Mari and I are back with another challenge. And this week we are doing, I guess, a twofold challenge. We are scraplifting and we are doing a layout about ourselves. So when I was flipping through my phone just to see if I had any pictures of just me, I did not. I am not a huge selfie taker. Usually if I'm taking a selfie, it's with my kids. So I'm going to work on that because, I do know that I need to be in my scrapbooks as well. So I kind of thought how I could do this layout about me, but have it as a twist. And as I was trying to think of what I was going to do, I was scrolling through Facebook and an image came up on my feed, like, do you remember this from your childhood? If you were a child in the 70s or the 80s. And these Barbie fashion plates came up, and I just immediately knew that that was what I wanted to do. I had this toy. I played with it for hours and hours and hours. And I can remember tracing, the different outfits and coloring them in. And, when I saw this picture, it was just, a serendipitous moment because, like I said, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this layout, and then seeing this picture came across the feed. It was just perfect. So I went on and just Googled the Barbie fashion plate and picked the largest size image I could to download it and then just print it off. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see the image, I guess, as I'm working on it, but at the end of the video I do have some close-ups so that you can see that. So I had the Felicity Jane Sophie kit, and the colors were perfect for this photo, and there were a couple of different of the rubber charms that I thought would work well, and the stamp set has several different stamps that are always good, but one of them said looking back, and I thought that that would be fun just to use that and stamp on the back of my layout. So I just realized that I forgot to put the layout that I lifted of myself in the beginning of the video, so I'm going to put it at the end so you can see which one that I did. This is pretty typical of something that I would do. I am going to just have some paper layers behind the photo. I enlarged one of the paper layers so that my original thinking was that my title would be grounded on it, but as I was going through the things, you'll see that I pull a tag there as well. I am fussy cutting the flowers. She, as in Felicity Jane, always has like a sticker sheet that comes with the kit. And, the good thing is it's more embellishments. The bad thing is you have to fussy cut them. Good thing I don't mind fussy cutting because, I would much rather have the choice of having more embellishments, this way. So this yellow polka dot tag caught my eye, and I thought that I would either layer up the two tags together or use this to house my title. But as I'm looking at it, I realized that that love rubber charm would work well on it as well. So you will see that I eventually just get rid of the floral tag, and I'm going to leave that yellow tag right where it is and just go from there. So on the back of this cut apart sheet, there are some scallop borders that I knew that I wanted to use, and looking at the 3x4 cut aparts, I just picked the one that I felt like I would most likely use the pattern and just trim that off since I knew that I would not need a huge amount of the scallops. Now, in the sake of time, I did not show myself fussy cutting the scallop borders. The video with me with all of the fussy cutting was almost 20 minutes. So, I always struggle with, keeping it real or letting you know about how much time it took and what I'm doing. And, I'd rather cut that part out and just tell you, yes, it does take some time to fussy cut, But for me, this is something that I enjoy. So I would rather just tell you, that I did it and not have you watch all of that and think my videos are boring. So I am taking some craft foam and popping my photo up. I am just in love with the layered look, so of course I'm going to be doing that again as well. And I'm just taking the little strips of the foam that I used as my offcut and putting it behind the floral die cut. Now I'm not going to put the foam around the entire floral die cut because part of it is overlapping the photo, and so I don't want that part to stick up even further. So I wanted some white on white texture. I have done this before. It's not on the layout that I'm scrap lifting, but I thought that it would be kind of neat, and I have not used my modeling paste in a while. So I pulled out the stencil. I think it's an old Hip Kit stencil, and it's just with different size hearts. And I'm just using some modeling paste, and I'm just going to have a diagonal, I guess, falling cascade of hearts. And I wanted it to be, I wanted the overall effect of the layout to be clean and with the light and the bright colors. So I'm not going to add any mist. And I really wanted to keep the modeling paste pretty clean and simple. So at this point, what I did was trimmed off about 1/4 inch of the white cardstock, and I went ahead and mounted it on the pink paper that I had cut previously to mount my photo on, and I did sew around the edges of the layout and then crimp up the edges as well. Again, a couple of those parts I just needed to cut out for sake of the length of video. So the suite is from the Felicity Jane kit, and the memories are some older Studio Calico 7 letter stickers. They are some of my most favorite stickers, letter stickers of all times, and I'm getting down to some of my last letters. So I needed to alternate some of the uppercase and lowercase, and the only E's that I had left were uppercase E's. So that's why you see the different uppercase in the title, but it really worked out well because I couldn't have planned this because it worked out so well, but the letters nestle right underneath the suite perfectly. Where the T comes and the S, it goes right in between the other letter stickers, and I was just so happy, when I saw how it turned out, because again, those are things that are so neat that happen when you don't plan for them, and it just seems to be like meant to be. So I am just, I typed out my journaling, and unbelievably, I don't have my layout in front of me, so I can't read my journaling word for word, but again, it just talks about how much I loved these fashion plates and that I use them, and that, as a little girl, what I wanted to be was a fashion designer when I grew up, and how I still love dressing up and cute clothes. So again, this little twist on a layout about me, I just thought that it might be neat. It was for me to do the layout, but for my kids maybe to see one day about some of the things that I loved, and I just always think that those kinds of things are neat. So I'm going to use my T-square ruler and just move my letters to where they are straight. I am just trying to make sure that the bottom part, not the like swirly cues of the M, but just the bottom part of the letters are about on the same line, just because, like I said, I really wanted it to be a clean layout, and I just find that the T-square ruler helps me with that. So one of the things that I'm doing with this is I did type out the journaling, and I just lifted up the curly Q of the M and had it nestle on top of the journaling strip. Again, I feel like when you overlap things, it really makes them feel like they belong and that it connects things together. And that's just another way that I can connect the title with the journaling without it being, I guess, very obtrusive. So if you know me by now, you know that I love to trim my tags, and so I just have this gold twine that I bought at Target, and it is really pretty. It's almost a bright white, so it works well with the shiny gold. So this is where I am going to do my stamping, and like I said, it says it's looking back, and because I haven't used the stamp before, I am stamping off quite a bit. And this little piece of scrap paper that I just did was part of the Basil cardstock that I trimmed off, and I wanted to make sure that when I stamped it on to the background paper that it would stamp evenly. This is slightly textured, so I just, that was my way of checking, and it did look great. So the last thing that I'm going to do, and I am going to cut some of this out as well because it always takes me a while to place my sequins and they shuffle around, and I'm just saving you the pain of looking through all of that. So that's pretty much it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out Mari's video as well. She's got one up, and I can't wait to see her take on this challenge as well. We also have a Facebook group called Scrap O'Clock, and we will post in there and would love to see your take on the challenges as well. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.